Good morning, students. Let's Make Commerce Easy is back for another topic of business environment. Let's understand what is business environment. So, as per Keith Davis, environment of business means the aggregate of all conditions, events, and influences that's of the surroundings and whatever affects it. Okay. Now, with this definition, let's understand the features one by one. The first feature of business environment is it is dynamic in nature. Now, when I'm talking about dynamic, so how is it dynamic? Things keep changing. So competitors may introduce new product designs or may change in pricing, promotion, and other strategies. Okay. Customers' taste and preferences, they may change over a period of time. Government may introduce policy changes in respect of taxation, foreign investment, foreign trade, etc. So all of these factors are dynamic in nature. Okay. The second point we have is direct and indirect impact. So let's understand the direct and indirect impact. Now we will understand with respect to micro external factors. So competition, government policies, customer preference, they will have a direct an immediate effect on the business. And how there would be indirect impact, socio-economic factors, political factors. Some things change, the government change, so your business got impacted the most. It could be on a negative way. So because of a political scenario, your business got affected. So that is an indirect impact. The third point I have is internal and external factors. What are internal factors? Internal factors are controllable in nature. Okay, it includes machinery, manpower, management, labor relations, etc. A company can replace old machinery with new machinery if so required. So all of this comes under internal factors. Are you understanding? And the external factors are beyond the control of business firm. External factors include government policies, competitor strategy, customer preferences. All of this would come under external factors. The fourth point I have is inseparable part of business. So, what is inseparable part of business? Business firms cannot operate without environment. For instance, business firms cannot operate without customers, suppliers, and dealers. So that is why it is inseparable part of business. Fifth point, that the entire concept of business environment is complex in nature. Now, what do I mean it is complex in nature? Sometimes like initially to set up growing competition, every day you see that once you have set up your own work, no, some or the other initial obstacles will keep coming. You're trying to solve one and you realize maybe the customer expectations are now they're not satisfied, or they are really very satisfied, and some other competitors also came. Till then you'll have to change your strategy. So the entire functioning or the mechanism of business environment is complex in nature. The sixth point I have is creating opportunities and obstacles. As I told you, a very good example that Geo came at a time when people were thinking about demonetization. In such a negative environment also, it created an opportunity. Are you understanding? Sometimes a negative environment is actually an opportunity for a lot of businesses. Like see, right now we are doing a meeting on Google Meet. Okay. Prior to this, hardly few people know that this was a good LMS. A few people were aware about Zoom, but you will not believe in this entire lockdown, software like the LMS like Zoom and this what do you call the Google Meet or the G Suite, they have actually made so much of money, because it is like an opportunity and it's a blessing in disguise for them, and so many people are using it. So it is creating opportunities and obstacles. The seventh point I have is regulate scope of business. That means what? Government regulations such as restrictions on advertisement of liquor, or any cigarettes or restrictive advertising of socially undesirable products. So, when you see that somebody is having a cigarette ad, or somebody is, in some serials also, somebody is smoking cigarettes, okay? So they will have to write down that uh, cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Are you understanding? So those businesses which have restrictive practices, they have to mention about the harmful effects. Okay. Let's understand the eighth point, reactive and proactive decisions. Now, what do I mean by reactive and proactive decisions? See, I launched a new mobile phone, okay, and then I'm studying that, what would the customer, will they buy or will they not buy? Like I'm seeing today, a lot of people are buying Redmi, Vivo, Oppo, against the normal conventional, like Samsung or an iPhone, because it's like, okay, 2 3 years you use and then you feel change and you don't feel guilty about it. Are you understanding? What is proactive approach? Proactive approach aims at that before you are launching, you actually studied the market. आपने पूरा market study किया कि अभी कौन क्या यूज कर रहा है, कितना spending capacity है लोगों के पास, उसके बाद आपने product किया. Reactive is you launch and then you understand market. Proactive is you are doing that summary, doing a lot of research and then deciding about it. So that is known as proactive decisions. The ninth point I have is environment is multidimensional. Now, when I'm talking about environment being multidimensional, I have to see from all angles. Now, see, for example, Government of India, it has liberalized the entry of foreign companies. Okay, but if it is liberalizing it, there could be a threat to the Indian industries. Like what happened? Now we are resorting to anti-China or anti this thing, and we are focusing more on making India products. But until now, you could see so much of dumping. So when you're allowing another country to enter, there could be a threat to your own country ke industries. So that could be a negative side for environment and multinational. And the positive side of this is multidimensional. Lot of new technologies can be easily introduced in your country, which is actually better for your make in India, And the last one I have is environment analysis and planning. See, whenever there is environment analysis, it indicates strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Depending upon the SWOT analysis, a firm sets its objectives. So all of these are very, very essential and they are very important features of business environment. Now we move on. How is business environment or the importance of business environment to anyone? I mean, to the businessman or to the government, or how would it be really beneficial? The first one I have is identification of strengths. See, a business environment helps to identify strengths. Okay. Now, for example, maybe your office, you have really competent and dedicated employees, or you have very good personnel policies, or you have very good working conditions. All this actually are the strength of the business, whichever it would be. Second one is identification of weakness. A good business environment, they need to identify the weakness. So for example, maybe you realize that the product is lacking in something. Rather than you sell off the entire product in sale and come up with the other better product. So that is, you would overcome your weakness. As a identification of opportunity is the best thing is that, what Geo did at a time when nobody thought something would work, it worked the most. And threats is that, okay, now already the 5 big people are there. Now if I go one step wrong, my market share will be declined. So always that threat of your market share declining would always be a threat to a lot of firms. The fifth point I have is planning. So business environment helps you to plan, to have effectively the SWOT, the external environment, the internal environment, to keep weekly reviews, and that would really help a firm or a business to grow. Organizing resources of land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, whatever you require for your company to grow, you know. So organizing resources of physical resources, capital resources, and manpower planning. All of this would come under the organizing resources, and this could be universally, you can write for a lot of points. The seventh point I have is motivating employees. See, it's always as a leader, you have to keep motivating the employees that yes, even in this corona times, we can achieve our targets. We might have to change our strategies. So the seventh point is motivating the employee. Also, the firm can give the employees monetary and non-monetary incentives. The eighth point we have is controlling. So the environmental scanning may indicate like the competitor strategies. You might have to take corrective measures to come and reach that. So all of them would come under controlling. The ninth point I have is survival and growth. See, survival and growth is very important. Maybe 10-year-old businesses also had to shut in today's corona times, especially the restaurant and the hotel industry. So survival and growth could be a thing, but there could be other things like locating the area, strength and weaknesses. What would be your next step? How would you think you would yet survive, and how would you think you would yet grow with takeaways, with other things also that are taking place? 10th point is corporate image. Due to environmental analysis, the overall performance of the organization improves. So various parties, customers, dealers, suppliers, all of them would also come under corporate image. 11th one is innovation. Professional business firms comes out with innovative products and schemes to face competition in the market. So all of this is there for innovation. The 12th one I have is efficiency. So training and development, research and development, technology upgradation, all of this would come under efficiency. So with this, friends, today I finish importance as well as nature of business environment, and the source for the same I've taken is Manan Prakashan. Thank you, friends, for listening.